Confidence is one of those things that we hear the word all the time, but you ask someone to explain it, especially in depth, they may struggle. So I'm going to keep it really simple. Confidence is a state. It's a state that often, no, like all states, you're not going to stay there all of the time. Depending on you, your circumstances, you may stay there most of the time. But this is about how do you have confidence, how do you build and maintain confidence, but equally when confidence dips, maintain courage, because that's what you need to pull you through. There's untold times that I've been nervous and people wouldn't even know I'm nervous. Why? Because I've demonstrated courage. And when you understand the two link, it's so easy, right? So for the purpose of building and maintaining confidence, understand this. I would say that you've got a critic and you've got a champion. You've got two sides to you, just like you've got left and right. Now, what's important to understand about the critic is that the critic is always on job. It's always working. It actually doesn't need any evidence to work. It's going to look for it itself. It's almost self-efficient in that. So it's going to look for moments, whether true or not, to say, you did that wrong. You could have done that better. You've got that wrong. Oh, you slipped up. You're so silly. That's the critic. The champion now, the champion needs work. The champion needs training. And the champion celebrates the losses, turns it into lessons and goes, guess what? I've learned something here. So it's not a loss. The champion celebrates, knows I have done enough and I'm giving it my best and I don't doubt it, even in mistakes. Now, to strengthen the champion, not only do you have to actively find ways to strengthen it, and that lies within your habits. So what are you doing? Your meditation, your journaling, your priming when you've got big things coming up. But equally, the easiest way is to be around other champions. And I don't mean people that are winning. I don't mean that. But championing mindset. Now, what I'm talking about is positive people, progressive people, people that when you can't champion yourself, when you are in a moment of doubt and your critics may be taking over, they can champion you. They can bring you back to center and remind you. But not only that, and this is where I talk about network in terms of energy. Not only that is that when you're around other champions, people that have champion mindsets, what happens is the brain becomes conditioned. Oh, this is the conversation that champions have. This is the conversation. Again, I'm not talking about winning. I'm talking about the mindset, right? You're around a certain energy, doesn't drain your energy and you're thinking, what's happened here? Actually, it pushes you, it challenges you, and it challenges you in a safe way. This is really important because challenge is good, and people think that because I'm challenging you and because I want you to do better, it doesn't matter how I do it. Well, it always does. The how matters. So if you understand that confidence is a state, ask yourself and just draw a simple line on a piece of paper, critic, champion, and just pay attention to how active your critic is and how active your champion is, and ask yourself, do I give myself enough time and space for my champion to come out, especially in those pressured moments? You've got to be able to do it. And when you realize that you're building a muscle, you're building a practice, eventually your champion becomes self-efficient. I'll give you an example before I finish. I had sepsis, had surgery, was placed in an induced coma, and while recovering, 2 years it's been, but while recovering, the champion was always there. The champion said, you did homework. You did the homework. You knew what to do. You know you got this. The meditation that you've implemented in your life, don't push it. Take your time. Listen to your body. Listen to your brain. Okay, I'm not going to read. Okay, I'm not going to go on social media. No, I'm not going to do anything that's going to push my brain. Slowly. And what? Yes, the critic was there. It was always on job. Everything you've worked for, you've now lost it. See, what's the point? Just go for security. But the champion was there. And because I exercised it 8 years prior, it was very, very strong. The practice was there. And actually, all I had to do was continue to practice in a small dose. And even that was enough to spur me on through the 2 years. So it's really important. Just remember that everything that we're doing, when we're talking about self-mastery or talking about making cognitive shifts, cognitive adaptability, mental mental toughness, mental fitness, whatever you personally want to call it, just remember it is a practice. And like anything, the minute you stop practicing, it makes it harder to see the results.